Hello, it's me, Jeff the Rain Man Braddock, here to alert you to our latest update for Battlefield 5. That is the game that our studio DICE has put out. Although we have been doing every other week patches, it has been exactly 3 weeks since our last update, which is 1 week or 7 days longer than normal. And of course, this patch only contains a smaller quality of life update, which is a buzz phrase meaning minimal content to get people off of our asses for a short duration of time. People with epilepsy can now finally play our game again after having to deal with flickering screen issues on the spawn screen. Shout out to my fellow ostracized brethren. I know we said that we were going to explore less well-known locations, but I think a seizure-inducing rave party during World War II wasn't one of them. In other gameplay affecting changes, we've deduced through all of the mountains of data that we've got that shotguns aren't very good in our game. So we increased the damage drop-off start distance for both buckshot and slug ammo by about 1 meter or about an arm's length, because did you know that the distance between your stretched out arms is roughly the equivalent of your height? Random facts is what I do. But that aside, all shotguns have gotten a max pellet damage increase for buckshot rounds. Additionally, the M1907 SF that is in the assault class, its recoil buffer specialization wasn't actually working, so we fixed something that was never supposed to be broken in the first place. You're welcome. Although you still have to wait until in between rounds or back out of matches in their entirety in order to customize weapons, we've at least finally implemented an equip set option instead of applying individual pieces of flair like Joanna in Office Space that we had teased way back in December but didn't actually make it into our game until now, 4 months later. In the company menu, which is more of a thing to put on a marketing presentation than something that's actually useful or an enhancement, we added the ability to do loadout mirroring such that you could use the same setup no matter which faction you're randomly assigned to, of which there's only currently 2 in our game because it's a live service buzzword as an excuse for shipping a half-baked product. Speaking of live service stuff, there were minor bug fixes with the last Tiger War story, the one where you actually play as the Germans, but of course these ones actually have a moral compass. Also for the practice range, although not the fixes that would make it actually useful, like allowing you to use your own personalized and specialized weapons. And lastly, for the combined arms mode, but to not make it anything like the type of dynamic narratives with multiple endings that we pitched prior to our shelving something that would have been good on launch, but EA forced our hand for those holiday sales. Even though you can't change assignments mid-match or even just to have all of the available assignments track no matter what without having to do permutation-esque calculations to figure out which assignments are the best bang for your buck, we did add a bunch more assignments for your to-do list in order to get more company coin, because giving out XP is useless now that upwards of 75% of lobbies are filled with level 50s. We didn't up the level cap, which is just an arbitrary number after all, so I don't understand the complaints about it. However, we did fix the end of round screen with going to that not so esteemed level 50, as well as company coin accrual, because counting isn't a strong suit here at DICE. Maybe as a mea culpa, that is an I'm sorry in a different language, we'll give you a new game mode, and by new, I mean a mode that's been a staple to Battlefield games ever since Bad Company 2, with Rush starting on March 7th. That's exactly 2 days from now, and won't be the epic 64-player rush that you experience with the Battle of Hanut Grand Operation on Panzerstorm, because that map needs 64 players in order to somewhat fill it out because it is gigantic. It will be a neutered 32-player only version because here at DICE, we did the bare minimum effort that you all come to expect from us to make this game mode. Wait, what? There are people that have assignments for Firestorm, which is the Battle Royale mode the general populace knows next to nothing about, in spite of it supposedly coming out this month. We're going to bring out a new roadmap around mid-March that will include the one single new Greece map that's had its background image data mined here, along with some new Tides of War chapters, but That's just a clerical error on the assignments. Guess what happens when you tweak code in a certain area? You introduce other bugs. Wait, there's more bugs? Server queues are completely broken as it won't let you join a server that has just been filled up and doesn't allow you to wait for an open slot to become available. Well, I guess since I'm a loner, we didn't test filling up a squad and then attempting to join a server such that only some of your squad mates and not all of them are able to get into that server that fractures your friends group before even playing the game in the first place. It seems with this patch, we've broken things that are more severe than the flickering issue we fixed that should only affect 3% of the population that have photosensitive epilepsy or PSE for short, according to medical data. That's us at DICE here though, 1 step forward, 2 step backwards, which is just equivalent to 1 step in the wrong direction, even though we've half-assed the Tides of War catch-all for giving ourselves just enough rope to hang ourselves with.